Hello, everybody. Indeed, welcome back into the database for Metanorn's Mini Talk on episode 2 of Log Horizon 2, The Outlaw in Mithril Eyes. I'm Jero, joined by Foshizzle,
Hey everyone.
and it is rating time on Log Horizon as the rating gets started in this episode. We get some details about how raids work in Elder Tale. 24 people in four groups of six, and of course you have to manage strategy properly. And we get a glimpse of some of the teams that are involved, like of course Shirei and Naotsuku are working together, and we see a lot of these other characters that we're going to be talking about a bit later, like Demikos and William Massachusetts and Totora.
Right, yeah, and the raid thing. I mean, I like that about Log Horizon, how they still remember it's still a game, and they still remember to, explain things about the game rules and, raiding. It sounds easy. It's, all they are is just instead of one group, there's multiple groups fighting it on one boss at the same time.
Hmm.
But like you said, strategy and there's armor required and there's levels and we talked about last week and trust is the main thing. They can trust all these players that they just met, like Shiro is used to his people, so it's like, this works for new people.
Hmm. Yeah, and all the game stuff that they do here, it's not that difficult to set up considering all the experience that we've seen of MMOs, RPGs getting very popular, Warcraft and all that stuff. So it always helps to kind of refer to that when building this world and the rules that in which the people in Elder Tale have to play by. And also, Shirei, before we get to the raid, Shirei goes to town in Susukino, which you might remember from episode 4 of the first series when we saw Demikos and all those guys. And Shirei meets up with William Massachusetts, and before Shirei even mentions what he wants, William agrees to it. It's rude. He thinks it's rude to not even or excuse me, he thinks that it's rude to have the person explain their reason before even agreeing. It's almost kind of like a true friend thing. Like, hey, I need something. Sure, what is it?
Right. He knew by the way he walking up to him. He's like, you need something. Yeah, like he knows Shiro is gonna ask him about something,
Yeah.
and short enough is just like, yeah, sure. He's like, wow, that's surprisingly easy to get you to to join. And I guess
Hmm.
we just have the off air of that I guess he's feeling bored lately, so it's like, yeah, let's do something exciting.
Yeah, because his guild, they're not up for the hard raids as much anymore. A lot of people are willing to do the easier raids, but yeah, Shirai coming up to him basically at the right time as William agrees to join up. And we also see Demikos in this episode. I mentioned episode 4 when we last saw him in that fight with Nyanta and Sarika. And he's, of course, holding a grudge against Shirai, but William is there to kind of calm things down and also to Tora a little bit later.
Right, yeah, it is funny seeing Demikos again. He's this giant brute of a character, and he, you do think, oh, he maybe get over it. He was beaten. He maybe use that to get stronger, but no, he's still holding a grudge, still till this day, and it's kind of funny. And like I said, William's there to kind of, I guess, mediate these two, like calm things down when they get out of hand. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm. So we have a new girl character to talk about. Naotsugu and Regan, they walk around and they see this they see this thing, the legs and panties sort of stuck in like this ice or snow or whatever. They're all giving like the thumbs up, like, yeah, panties.
yeah, it's almost
It's
like
so silly.
they two would be like 10-10 would look at again or something. They're
Hmm.
like just those two together are just weird. They're just both have similar personalities and similar likes and
Yeah.
pervertedness and comical gags they always pull.
Hmm. I mean, that scene all in all was just really funny with how they were talking and how Totoro was interacting with him, sort of like looking at Regan like he's some old man or something. And Totoro is constantly on Natsugu's shoulder like she's some kind of monkey or something, or like a parrot, more specifically. But she's an interesting and likable character.
Right, yeah, you first see her and she's kind of in your face and hyper and all over Natsuko and almost like you said, a monkey or a parrot. She's just very animated for, even for Log Horizon standards. We had, I mean, Muriel has always been the animated one of the group. She's always,
Hmm.
you know, very loud and very bounce off the walls. But this girl takes it out to another extreme
Oh yeah.
by clinging to Natsuko, and those two kind of hit it off easily. Almost like I would say almost like a brother sister thing between them for now. But who knows what's gonna happen later between them?
Hmm. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get to that before we move on. We see Marielle chatting with Naotsugu sort of in between at nighttime while Naotsugu is away on this mission with Shirei, and it seems like they're kind of chatting, and they both kind of seem like it might be a little bit more than just two friends talking. That's what Henrietta seems to think.
Right, yeah, and for the longest time, you always see them as a pair. Even in the last couple episodes of the first season, they kind of hinted at there's maybe something between those two, because they're
Hmm.
kind of sneaking behind everyone's back, meeting each other. Is what I got. And yeah, Henrietta, she's like, you talk to him more than anyone else. Why don't you talk to Shure? And you talk to him more than Natsuko more than him. So it's like she knows something's going on, which is nice. I mean, if they're stuck in this world, they might as well make the best of it. And
Hmm.
even if they're not gonna meet these people when they get out of the game, it's still it's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, and even when we're seeing Totora sort of bopping around and stuff, he's talking about in terms of volume, Marielle is still the best.
Right? Yeah, pointing to obvious the obvious things, but but yeah, it's
Hmm.
pretty funny.
Yeah, so we get some pre-raid fighting. We got to clear all the trash and good chance for people to work together. We see that just kind of some easy work. People just kind of taking care of business and kind of getting a feel for what these groups of six are like.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of interesting, and it's important to see these people work together. And there's a shot where Demikos kind of doesn't. You could feel that something's going to happen with him
Hmm.
later on. He doesn't really see eye to eye with Shiro anymore. He's just there to swing and kill things. But when it comes down to like fighting and talking to them, he's not going to like that as far as that
Hmm.
goes.
Yeah, he had almost a Wolverine-looking pose there,
Yeah,
kind of
definitely.
at the end,
Yeah.
as it looks like he's so hell bent on not letting Shirei get his way that he's going to put a wrench in things. So we get to Akatsuki. Akatsuki always sort of draws the short straw and always has to stay back, and Shirei always has a plan for her, and that's to watch guard on Lanessia, and they kind of chat about food, and I feel like Lanessia looks different this season is very noticeable, and especially in the eyes of her character design.
Yeah, I noticed that too. A little different with her. And it's interesting to see these two girls kind of chat up, but it's like there's nothing really going to be anything between them. They're just kind of, she's got a job, Akatsuki's gonna watch her, and then Luciana just kind of like, if you're gonna watch me, we can at least talk or do something. But yeah, that scene
Hmm.
was kind of weird. I mean, they're talking about food, but I was expecting something more like lines of, her being worried about Shure, and maybe Luciana kind of telling her that she's worried about Krusty and where he's at. So it's like both of them have something in common, being
Hmm.
left behind while the guys do their job.
Yeah. And we also see Akatsuki. She goes to a store. She's looking at the swords and stuff there. She realizes that she can't. She's not been able to do the raid stuff and to get some of these weapons that she had to give up all of her items and her belongings and then some. And as she's walking out of that store, she passes some mysterious guy, sort of long silver hair. Uh, Not sure who he is. Could be trouble.
Yeah, I think he's trouble. I mean, he was watching her, and I remember the first episode we did see her in some alleyway fighting some rather like huge muscular looking dude. And he kind of looks like he's got
Hmm.
the same build. And yeah, Katsuki's just feeling a little down. She doesn't, she wants to be useful to everyone, but she's kind of lagging behind everyone else. She's got
Hmm.
low end weapons and she's still got the same armor she wore in the first season. So it's like she wants to be with them, but she also realizes that that means she has to fight, train, and get more
Yeah.
armor, which is fine. I do want to see more her in action. I mean, I do like that her in season one doing that, but season two she's kind of like on the sideline right now. Kind of sad,
Hmm.
kind of sad, but that's just how she is right now.
Yeah, I think judging by what we saw at the end of episode one, it does seem like she will get to fight at some point, and I look forward to that. Getting to some extra stuff from this episode, Tatora, a ball of energy, new character, has that idol personality, just very upbeat and just super chatty and stuff. She
Yeah,
one of your favorites?
yeah, she's starting to become my favorite now. Just I like characters that have a lot of energy to them. And being stuck in this world, it's kind of depressing. Some people wouldn't like it, but
Hmm.
there's a few characters that kind of are embracing it, and they're just like, it's just another day, and I'm just gonna live it what I want, and keep living on and fighting. And I like that about her. We haven't seen her fight because she's a cleric, so she's gonna be more behind the lines
Hmm.
healing people. And I noticed a lot of the popular female characters are healers, and like
Yeah,
Sarah, she's a healer. Uh, I'm not sure. I forgot her other name, the little girl, but
Minori.
yeah, Minori, she's like a assist character. She can give you buffs and stuff. So I noticed a
Hmm.
lot of the character roles are kind of like that. But Tetora, I'm kind of
Hmm.
interested in what she's gonna do. If she's gonna be an important character. I mean, she's in the opening and the ending after all, so I
Yeah.
guess she's important.
Yeah, we'll also have to see. We've talked about ships plenty on our mini talks for Log Horizon, and this one kind of makes a interesting wrinkle in what we've always thought is the Nautsuku X Mariel ship. Totora kind of gets in there.
Oh yeah, she's
Um,
definitely getting in there.
hmm Yeah, well, it's tough to tell how much, especially right now in the anime,
Yeah. Hmm.
but maybe the friendship could go. Right now, it's just kind of like Natsuki just has this kind of annoying parrot on his back.
Right. Yeah. That's why I was comparing like a sister relationship. Yeah,
Hmm.
they can get along, but in the end they kind of get into their nerves. I could tell
Hmm.
that's gonna happen later on, but we'll see what happens. It's fun.
Hmm. Yeah, we know Demikos to be very mean, but in this episode he got a little bit embarrassed at the mention of his wife that he has was it real life or the
I
game?
think it's maybe the game right now.
Okay.
But it was funny to see that, yeah, there's this muscular dude you wouldn't be able to approach him easily because he looks kind of violent. I mean, like he would
Hmm.
easily rip you in half. But you mentioned his wife, and he crumbles apart and just he's all embarrassed. And it's funny seeing that the different side of him. Just he's like, well, whatever, like so what kind of attitude. And I'm interested if if you're actually gonna see his wife. And I wouldn't put it past a laugh. It was like if she's like this, cute Millie looking girl that can make him, bend him to
Yeah.
make him like all cute and innocent, but we know what he really is like.
And on the subject of funny, Natsuku and Regan, the new pairing as they talked about Pantsu, and we mentioned Totora earlier. When that scene first came up, they were talking about Pantsu. I was prepared for it to be a boy character
Yeah, me
that would
too.
come out.
That would have been kind of funny if
Hmm.
they did that. And yeah, like you said, those two together, it's a weird pair, but they both, to my surprise, kind of hit it off easily. And like I said before, they're both got similar
Hmm.
personalities as far as what they're
Yeah,
into.
yeah. It's kind of good to have someone else talk to Regan instead of Shirei. Of course, Akatsuki wouldn't really have much to say to him while they would be on mission. So having a chatty guy like Natsuki around kind of works there.
Yeah, it does. It's better to have someone you can actually have fun with than someone you just don't you loathe. You're like, oh, I can't stand this person. Which is
Hmm.
what I think Get Darren Cos feels towards Shure. He's just like, oh, this nerd again. I gotta deal with him.
uh, all right. So that's been episode 2. Any thoughts overall?
Not really. I mean, we'll get the raid next week and see how that goes.
Hmm.
And judging from the first episode, I'm gonna guess it probably doesn't go as the way as Shure thinks originally, but
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna be at it again. I don't think they're gonna let this one hiccup stop them from trying again.
Hmm. Yeah, this pacing is very familiar territory for Log Horizon. A little on the slow side, kind of setting things up, explaining things, kind of having a little bit of fun here and there. So I'm looking very much forward to next week as the raid sort of picks up, and we'll see what Demikos does in his attempt to sort of thwart Shirei's plans, and I'm looking forward to it. So, listeners, thank you for joining us for our mini talk on episode 2. For Fosh, I'm Jeru. We will see you next week in the database.